Case title, Raheel Ahmed vs. Sobia Ahmed, Divorce and Separation Due to Infidelity. Introduction. Raheel Ahmed, a 38-year-old businessman, and Sobia Ahmed, a 36-year-old marketing manager, were married for 10 years before their marriage began to unravel due to an affair that Sobia had with a colleague at her office. Raheel filed for divorce, accusing his wife of infidelity, which he claims irreparably damaged their marriage. Sobia admits to the affair but argues that her emotional needs were neglected by Raheel, which drove her to seek solace elsewhere. The case revolves around emotional distress, the betrayal of trust, and the breakdown of a once stable marriage. Background. Raheel and Sobia's marriage had always been considered strong by friends and family. However, over the years, the couple began to drift apart. Raheel's business was growing, demanding more of his time and focus, leaving little room for his relationship with Sobia. Meanwhile, Sobia felt increasingly lonely and neglected. She formed a close relationship with her colleague, Kashan Malik, at her office. Over time, this relationship became physical, and Sobia had an affair with him for several months. Raheel, suspecting something was wrong, discovered the affair after finding a series of text messages between Sobia and Kashan. He confronted her, and after initial denial, she confessed. Raheel, devastated by the betrayal, moved out of their shared home and filed for divorce, accusing Sobia of infidelity and seeking emotional distress damages. Sobia, while admitting to the affair, claims that Raheel's emotional neglect pushed her into the arms of another man. Opening statements. Plaintiff's attorney, Raheel's attorney. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are here because of a betrayal that no one should have to endure. Raheel Ahmed entrusted his wife, Sobia, with his heart, his future, and his love. What did he get in return? A marriage built on lies and deceit. Sobia's affair with Kashan Malik was not a mistake, it was a conscious choice she made. A choice that shattered the very foundation of this marriage. Raheel has suffered immeasurably from this betrayal, emotionally and mentally. His trust has been broken, and the marriage is beyond repair. We are here to seek justice for the harm caused by Sobia's actions and to dissolve this marriage that has caused Raheel so much pain. Defendant's attorney, Sobia's attorney. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, while Sobia admits to her affair with Kashan Malik, we must understand the broader context. Yes, Sobia made a mistake, but the root cause of her actions lies in years of emotional neglect from her husband, Raheel. For years, Sobia tried to make her marriage work, but Raheel, engrossed in his business, failed to meet her emotional needs. Sobia was left feeling abandoned, ignored, and alone. The affair was not premeditated. It was the result of an emotional void created by Raheel's indifference. We ask the jury to consider both sides of the story and to understand that while the affair was wrong, it was not the sole reason for the breakdown of this marriage. Testimonies. Plaintiff's testimony, Raheel Ahmed. Raheel takes the witness stand, visibly shaken but determined. Plaintiff's attorney, Raheel, could you please tell the court what led to the breakdown of your marriage? Raheel Ahmed, it started slowly. Sobia began spending more time at work, coming home late, and when she was home, she seemed distant. I tried to talk to her about it, but she always brushed it off, saying she was just busy. I didn't think much of it at first, but then I found the texts. That's when I knew something was wrong. She was texting Kashan. I confronted her, and at first, she denied everything. But then she admitted to the affair. Plaintiff's attorney, how did the discovery of the affair affect you? Raheel Ahmed, it devastated me. I felt humiliated, betrayed. I had put everything into this marriage, my time, my energy, my trust. And to find out that she had been with someone else, that she had lied to me, was unbearable. Defendant's attorney, Raheel, you mentioned emotional neglect. Can you provide examples of how Sobia neglected you emotionally? Raheel Ahmed, she was always too busy for me. When I wanted to spend time with her, she'd say she was too tired or had work to do. I needed her, but she wasn't there. I tried to talk to her about how I was feeling, but she would just shut me out. I felt invisible in my own marriage. Defendant's testimony, Sobia Ahmed. Sobia takes the stand, her eyes filled with regret but her voice steady. Defendant's attorney, Sobia, could you explain why you had the affair with Kashan? Sobia Ahmed, I never intended for things to go this far. I was unhappy. Raheel was so caught up in his work, and I felt completely alone. I tried to reach out to him, to talk about how I was feeling, but he wasn't there. Kashan was a friend. He listened to me, made me feel important. It wasn't about love at first, it was about feeling valued and heard. Plaintiff's attorney, so, you're claiming that Raheel's neglect led you to have an affair? Sobia Ahmed, yes. I know what I did was wrong, but I didn't know how else to deal with the emptiness I was feeling in our marriage. Raheel was always busy. I tried to hold everything together, but I needed more, emotionally, physically, mentally, and I didn't get that from him. Plaintiff's attorney, do you understand how much pain your actions have caused Raheel? Sobia Ahmed, I do. I deeply regret what I did. I never meant to hurt him, but I couldn't go on feeling invisible in my own marriage. I wish I had communicated better, but I didn't. And I regret the way I handled things. Closing arguments. Plaintiff's attorney. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Raheel's pain is not just the result of a single mistake, it is the result of years of neglect and betrayal. While Sobia may claim emotional neglect, it does not justify her actions. She made a choice to betray the trust of her husband and to seek affection elsewhere. Raheel has suffered emotionally, mentally, and financially from this affair. We ask for the dissolution of this marriage and a fair division of the assets. Defendant's attorney. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, Sobia made a mistake, but the reason for that mistake was the emotional void in her marriage. Raheel's neglect, his emotional unavailability, and his focus on his business left Sobia feeling isolated. We ask that you not only consider the affair but also the emotional distress that led to it. We request a fair resolution that acknowledges the complexities of this situation. Conclusion. After a brief deliberation, the jury returns with a verdict. Jury foreperson, we, the jury, find that the marriage between Raheel Ahmed and Sobia Ahmed has irretrievably broken down. The court grants the divorce on the grounds of infidelity and emotional neglect. We award Sobia 40% of the marital assets, considering both the emotional damage caused by her actions and the neglect within the marriage. In the courtroom. Raheel's attorney, to Raheel the court has granted the divorce. It's over now, Raheel. Raheel Ahmed, sighing, I never wanted it to end this way, but it's for the best. Sobia's attorney, to Sobia you've been granted a fair settlement. It's time to move on. Sobia Ahmed, nodding quietly I never wanted this. But I understand why it had to happen. The case concludes with a sense of finality, as both Raheel and Sobia begin to accept the consequences of their actions. The jury's decision allows them to go their separate ways, but the emotional scars remain for both.